Welcome everybody to WWE Figure Universe Episode 2. Thank you all for the support on the past 2 episodes. And if you haven't seen the other 2 episodes, you're not going to be able to follow along to this. So I recommend you go check out the other 2. Let's go ahead and start off Monday Night Raw. The show starts with Gunther, aka Gunther, the number 1 contender for John Cena's Undisputed Championship, coming out to the ring because we're kicking off Raw with the match with Gunther versus the man who John Cena picked for him to face this week, since Gunther picked John Cena's opponent last week. John Cena then comes out onto the stage and says, "Gunther, last week you chose a big opponent for me, and it was AJ Styles." Spoiler alert, if you didn't see last week's episode, that's who it was. AJ Styles was Gunther's pick, and John Cena did defeat AJ Styles in a great match to main event last week's Raw. But John Cena says, "I got one better for you." And this guy is one of my greatest rivalries as well. We've had some classic matches. And all of a sudden, the music hits, and John Cena says he's not here for one night only. He's here for the rest of his life. AKA, he signed a full contract, and that man is Mr. Rob Van Dam. John Cena announces that is the man he has picked to face Gunther. And he also says Rob Van Dam is now an official member of the Raw roster. And of course, this match slaps. It's a great match. So many near close falls. Rob Van Dam almost picks off Gunther. But in the end, the strength of Gunther, the power bombs and chops, it's just too much for Mr. Rob Van Dam. And that's it for Rob Van Dam. He loses his match against Gunther, but it's all good. After the match, John Cena does get in the ring, and him and Gunther stare at each other eye to eye. But Gunther simply laughs at John Cena once again like last week and walks away. He just leaves the ring, and John Cena is puzzled as to what is Gunther's plan. What is his game plan? What are the mind games he's doing? He's not laying his hands on John Cena. And yeah, fantastic start to the show. Let's see what happens next. We cut to backstage where our general manager, John Laurinaitis, is having a conversation with Paul Heyman, the councilman. And all we get to hear is that Paul Heyman says he's on the way. And that's all we hear from Mr. Heyman, and the door shuts. The next match up is the Tag Team Championship 4-way elimination match consisting of American Alpha, the champions, The Acclaimed, and Pretty Deadly. And there's supposed to be a 4th team in this match, but for some reason the team does not come out. And everyone looks pretty puzzled in the ring, but the ref rings the bell and the match begins. American Alpha are the faces in this match. The Acclaimed are also faces, with Pretty Deadly being the heels. The first team that looks like they're about to win is the Acclaimed when they get Elton Prince in a pinfall state, but it is broken up by Mr. Chad Gable. Chad Gable does then do his what the hell? I'm losing my train of thought. Oh my goodness gracious. He does a suplex, drop kick. Jason Jordan comes in, does a couple suplexes. Everything's looking good for American Alpha, and they're able to win the match by pinning. Elton Prince is the man who takes the pinfall. The Acclaim came close, but just not close enough. And remember how I said there's supposed to be a 4th team in this matchup? Well, the music of this tag team hits after American Alpha wins the match. Matt and Nick Jackson appear coming down to the ramp with microphones, claiming that they are too good to wrestle on free TV. They are prize fighters. They are top of the tier. They're better than American Alpha, and they're 10 times better than all the other teams in this match. And that they want their shot at the tag titles at the PLE Armageddon in 2 weeks. American Alpha kind of shrug it off, say, "What makes you guys think you deserve it?" And the Young Bucks say, "Well, you know what?" And they super kick American Alpha, holding up both their tag titles in the end. American Alpha on the floor, the Young Bucks making a mark and proving why they are what they are. We cut to backstage once again in the GM's office with John Laurinaitis as he confirms that at Armageddon, our first PLE in 2 weeks for the Tag Team Championships, it will be American Alpha going up against the Young Bucks. He also did announce later tonight our main event segment is going to be Cody Rhodes is here. He is live and well. And he will be confronting Braun Breaker after what happened last week on Monday Night Raw. And he says he hopes you enjoy the rest of the show. Our next match was announced last week after our Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match with Jey Uso, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, and Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso was able to eliminate Randy Orton with a roll-up pin But Orton then came back in the match, RKOing and costing Jey Uso the match, which means this match was then made as Jey Uso was not a very happy man. And this match slaps as well, of course it does, until something blindsides Jey Uso. Jey Uso gets distracted by something up the ramp, like a flashing red light or some sort. Something happens where he turns around, and right when he turns around, Randy Orton's able to strike and hits the RKO out of nowhere. And Randy Orton then picks up the win. Once again, Jey Uso feels like he was screwed over because someone's messing with the pyrotechnics, someone's messing with the effects, someone's messing with something because he got distracted. Something caught his attention away from the match just long enough for Randy Orton to strike. And that's exactly what happened. Jey Uso does lose this match. We cut to a backstage interview with Shawn Michaels as the reporter or the interviewer is asking him about how he feels to be back, how he feels to be fighting Kevin Owens at Armageddon, our next PLE in 2 weeks, for the World Heavyweight Championship, and how they feel last night beating Jey Uso, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre in that Fatal 4-Way match. Shawn Michaels just expresses how grateful he is for God and everything that's gotten him back to here, until you know what happens. Our world champ Kevin Owens walks in on the interview and says, "Shawn, I'm happy you're happy, but after I'm done with you at Armageddon, you're not going to be so happy." Kevin Owens promo skills by Mike Jurassic Collector. You're welcome. Kevin Owens then informed Shawn Michaels that next week on a special episode of the Kevin Owens Show, they are signing the contract. There will be a contract signing for their match for Armageddon. But before we can get there, Owens says not only is he going to beat Shawn Michaels' old ass at Armageddon, but tonight he's going to go out there and he's going to beat Rey Mysterio's ass. Another old, washed-up legend, says Kevin Owens. And we cut back to the ring. That interview leads us into our next match, which is Rey Mysterio taking on the World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Owens. And this is a banger, of course. Kevin Owens is always great. Rey Mysterio is always great. It is a very close one. Kinda, not really. We know Kevin Owens is walking out of here as the winner. And that's what happens. He does beat Rey Mysterio after Rey Mysterio goes for a 619. He's able to hit one part, but then Owens counters it into a pop-up powerbomb, meaning Kevin Owens is the winner. And he's just adding another notch on his belt. Because like you said, he's going to beat Shawn Michaels' old ass at Armageddon just like he beat Rey Mysterio's ass tonight. And next week, we're going to see the contract signing between Shawn Michaels and Kevin Owens. We cut back to the GM's office. Once again, John Laurinaitis is on his phone when we hear a knock at the door. It's none other than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins last week seemed very distraught, not knowing what's next for him. He comes in here asking John Laurinaitis what's his plans for him are. Is he going after any championships, any rivalries? Like, what's next for Seth Rollins? And Mr. Laurinaitis goes to tell him until we hear another big knock at the door. And it's Big D, Drew McIntyre, telling him to stop crying, stop his bitching and moaning. That Seth Rollins, you need to just shut your goddamn mouth. Drew McIntyre's sick of it. He wants to know what's next for him after he did lose that match last week. And John Laurinaitis says, perfect. Next week it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And we'll go from there, he says, and we'll see what's next after that match. Our next match is Sami Zayn, our North American Champion, taking on Kyle O'Reilly. After last week, Sami Zayn was beaten down by Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and the leader of the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole. This is a good match as it begins until, of course, Adam Cole and Bobby Fish swarm the ring, but Sami Zayn outsmarts them and he's able to then run out of the ring and does not get attacked again. Now, this is clearly setting up a match between Adam Cole and Sami Zayn, but it is not made official quite yet. We will see what happens next week as this feud, or whatever you call this, continues. Up next, we cut to CM Punk backstage as he's walking to the ring, how he's excited and he's saying that this is a 5-star caliber match. It is him versus the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, next live on Raw. Which brings us to our next match, CM Punk versus AJ Styles. And this matchup begins, and it's looking like it's going to be exactly what we all would think this would be, an absolute classic. That is until the man, oh man, the one and only, the guy that CM Punk slapped last week, Mr. Logan Paul, is able to come out and attack CM Punk while the ref is not looking. Logan Paul throws him into some ring steps. Logan Paul just completely, obliterates CM Punk on the outside of the ring until he is thrown back into the ring, and AJ Styles is able to hit a 450 splash and a Styles Clash, and he pins CM Punk 1, 2, 3. and AJ Styles is the winner after last week losing John Cena, but that's okay. Also, look at this amazing fix-up I did with this AJ. Look at that grimace face scan. Absolutely fantastic. Anyways, get off topic. And this outrageous CM Punk, he's not a very happy man. Logan Paul just cost him his match against AJ Styles, and Logan Paul's laughing as he runs back to the backstage area. What happens next? Well, we're going to find out right now. We cut to our lovely GM once again, Mr. John Laurinaitis, and he's on the phone again. This man just can't get out his damn phone. And Mr. CM Punk barges in and says, Laurinaitis, I need to take care of this Logan Paul problem. Give me him next week. John Laurinaitis says, I'll do you one better. You get him at Armageddon, our first PLE in 2 weeks. It will be CM Punk versus Logan Paul, officially made right here, right now by Mr. Laurinaitis. CM Punk just says chuckles, and he says Logan Paul will not be seen again after that night, and he walks away. So bada boom, bada bing, another match is made official for Armageddon in 2 weeks. We then get a graphic on the screen showing that next week it will be Big E versus Bronson Reed in a singles match after what took place last week. Go check out last week if you don't know what happened. But next episode it will be Big E versus Bronson Reed. We then cut to another Judgment Day promo where they kind of do the whole same thing as they did last week, saying that they are coming soon, they're on the way, and everybody on the Raw roster better watch their back because Judgment Day is coming and they will not show any mercy. We then are at our final segment of the night. Cody Rhodes, our new United States Championship champion, comes out to the ring, and he's not a very happy man. After what happened last week, Braun Breaker completely embarrassed the champion. As he was on his way to the ring last week, he attacked him, beat the living hell out of him, and left with his title. Braun Breaker stole the United States title and left Cody Rhodes laying there. But Cody Rhodes was able to make it here tonight, as he says in the ring, and he's calling Braun Breaker out. He's saying, get your ass out here with my championship. That is not yours. This, that, or another. Until Braun Breaker pops up on the screen. Braun Breaker then appears on the screen holding the United States Championship, telling Cody Rhodes to relax, and he's really surprised to even see him here tonight, because he really thought Cody Rhodes was so fragile that he wouldn't even be able to make it here tonight. And he says if he really wants to see him that bad, come and find him, just like his own brother did earlier tonight. And as the camera pans down, Cody Rhodes' brother Goldust is laid out on the floor, and that just pisses Cody Rhodes off to the point where Cody runs to the back to assist his brother, who is knocked out cold, until of course our boy Braun Breaker then comes in, fight brawl, then starts cutting off the air with the two men brawling it out backstage, yelling back and forth, people breaking them up. And we hear Cody Rhodes say, if you want this, let's do it at Armageddon. Braun Breaker says yes. They're yelling back and forth, and Raw goes off the air. And that concludes our episode 2 of WWE Figure Universe. If you made it this far, I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you think down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.